Hello everyone, it's Saturday, so time for my weekly review. I had a good week. Finally, my Adidas trade paid off. This is the weekly chart. I just want to show you guys the bigger picture. Of course, Adidas is doing very well. It's moving in a big uptrend, and this was in October. We saw this huge sell-off. There was a reaction, I think, to the sell-off that we saw earlier. Around here, of course, everything that goes up like this has to come down. This was in the summer, and then afterwards the numbers were not that good. There was something, I don't know what it was, but I remember the numbers were not that good, so we saw this correction again. So corrections is no problem, of course. It's a great opportunity to re-enter the market, and I started re-entering around that area. I think I had a nice ride in this one. We thought we saw a head and shoulders, so I was a bit worried about that setup, but here the shoulder got broken, so we moved up, and I think by the break of this shoulder, this is what happened last week, price really started rocketing up. Next week are the numbers for Adidas as well. So maybe some people know something we do not know yet, but that being said, this was my take profit around 163. I thought I want to ride this one from here all the way to the 160, because that was the previous high, but once we are there and it will break, I knew from experience that we have some more potential to the upside. So 163 was my take profit, which resulted in this profit. Let me show you. This is what I showed you guys on Instagram. I don't want just want to share these kinds of pictures, but you know, you have to share your successes. This was almost 7,000 in this week alone, just on Adidas, which is, to me, is pretty nice. So of course, you know, when you follow me on Instagram and YouTube, I'm here to teach, not just to brag, but this is one of the things that happen when you're trading is on. So this is a nice thing to look back at. For now, of course, the way I trade, I am not really watching this market right now, for the simple fact that this is in a new area, a new high. The numbers are coming out. This feels like gambling if I'm in the market in these circumstances. So I want to see this one pull back to maybe this trend line, or maybe this inner trend line, something like that. But I want to first see price come back down before I'm entering this one long again. But definitely on my watch list. I almost trade Adidas all the time. This is one of the stocks I have a connection with. Some things you trade that often, you have that much success, then you know a lot about that market, and you trade it very often. Then on my watch list, Volkswagen is in a huge correction mode, but I think just this week price is, as you can see here, it's breaking the moving average again. I think when we put in a trend line, we can see that it's struggling right now with the trend line. Next week, when I see a break of this trend line, I think I want to get in. It came back almost to the 78.6 Fibonacci. It struggled and bounced a couple of times on the 61.8. So this to me is, I think, well, maybe we see one more correction, one more leg down, and then I don't see why technically this one is at a nice buying spot to re-enter and maybe go long. But there are some indicators I wanna check out first. We are we seeing some divergence here, maybe on the 4-hour chart. We are seeing not really that convincing, a little bit of divergence maybe from here to here. It is, momentum on the RSI is shifting a little bit, even though we are still making lows, but not really that convincing. So we have to stay above this moving average. I want to see the continuation of this RSI in upward momentum, but most of all I want to see a break. Let me draw it out for you guys. I want to see a break of this trend line and possibly a retest, and once that retest holds, I am confident and I am trying to look for new entries to the upside. Then we have Alibaba. This is turning out to be a great trade. I remember I entered around here. I entered long. I thought it would be a nice swing trade, but price doesn't seem to get out of this range. So last week I told you guys I'm switching this strategy to range trading, and I think also this week I had a nice profit to the upside. This false breakout, I was out of the market, and then it fell back, and I had one entry I think around here. So, well, to me, Alibaba, strong stock. I still think continuation, because we see this pin bar over here. Let me put it away. This pin bar shows us that price tried to come through once again, but price is not ready to go up yet. So I'm continuing to range trade this one. Then Nvidia, I remember I had a nice trade on this one in the beginning of the year, but this one is this is not good. I don't know if you remember. On a weekly chart, this is insane. This was last year. I did unfortunately I didn't trade this, but that's not a problem. We trade what we see. If we miss a trade, we don't chase a trade. We go on to the next one. So this is a huge uptrend, so that some kind of correction would be in was inevitable. What we see here is a break of this trend line again. So this is not a healthy setup at all with the overbought situation on the weekly, and we are into lower lows. So I'm not touching this one for now. Let's stay into the stocks a little bit. Shopify, I am trading, I'm scalping actually this area. I entered around here, around the 89.60, and I'm taking some 100 euro profits every time we go 1 point higher. So I go in at 59 and go out at 60. Not the best kinds of trades, but I, some little bit of scalping every week, so you know there's some continuation in your profits. It touches this trend line right now, so I think we can see a potential move further or back up in these zones up here. Then we have Facebook. I'm not going to show you guys that one. 137 is going pretty fast, but I am not taking that one. Then, oh yeah, Netflix is another nice trade. Let me show you this setup tomorrow, because we are still in a range as well. So Netflix is coming down. I don't want to see this one break these lows, but this is an interesting setup. I think I'm gonna talk about this one tomorrow in the weekly analysis for the coming week, and I'll put on some Fibonacci. So let's see where this one can retrace to find some beautiful re-entries. This is the 4-hour chart. What's going on? The break of this trend line doesn't feel right, but let's see tomorrow. IBM still growing strong. I want this one. I wish that would happen earlier, but I still want a new entry zone closer to this trend line. So let's see what happens. Maybe go into this tomorrow as well. So that's it for the stocks. So let's move to the dollar index and then to the forex pairs. The dollar index started moving to the upside again, came down, touched support in this trend line, and is moving back up again. This was last week, so we had a nice strong dollar. This is the end of the week. I am curious what's going to happen next week, because on Friday we ended the week with Yellen. Miss Yellen, she told us that it's very likely that there will be a rate hike in March, the 15th of March to be precise. So that means a rate hike will mean a stronger dollar. So by just that news, you would expect that price will go up. Of course, it was Friday night, so people are leaving the markets, taking some profits, and some repositioning maybe in the markets is going on as well, because we saw this price drop of the US dollar. I'm curious what will happen on Monday, if this one will find support somewhere, or where we will be at with this one. Okay, then I am in US dollar, Swiss franc a lot. I like to trade certain stocks a lot. As you can see, I pointed out quite a couple of things here for you guys. I'm swing trading this, that's correct. I entered around here, I exited, then I think I entered around here again. I exited a bit late, and now we are seeing, it looked like we were seeing a certain head and shoulder pattern from here until here. Maybe it's a bit strange shoulder, or this one as well, but I think we are actually seeing some highs in this one, so that's okay. I think I see an important line over here as well. Not really, so let's forget this one. This is pretty crowded, so let me get off these lines for you guys. So this is a bit more understandable. So this is, to me, this is great. This is exactly what you want to see in swing trading, in technical trading. I want to see a clear pattern. As you can see, we had some nice clear entries and exits on this one. Then this trend line broke, so we were a little bit of insecure where this was going. Price turned around, so we draw this new trend line. This trend line, this has actually meaning when we enter the price of last Friday. It's not a reversal anymore, or not yet. Price seems to be losing some steam, if you ask me. This high and this high, well, it's not really a high. Maybe it's the same height, but you can draw this one like this as well. I'm gonna put on this. So talking about divergence, I think we are seeing quite clear that there is some kind of divergence going on. So the upside momentum is shifting a bit, but with the news of Yellen, maybe the dollar will get another impulse to move again. Let's see on Monday what happens. Still trading this one. I still think there's a bullish bias to it, so I'm happy to enter around these trend lines and go long to take my profits. Beautiful trade, if you ask me. Then another big move was also dollar related. Was this one? Well, this is looks pretty much like I pointed out. I remember I was talking to one of you guys on Instagram when this happened. Someone started asking me questions: should I go short? Should I go short? I think when this move is going on, you're too late to go short, and I think my answer was wait for a pullback, which is happening right now, and after that go short. I think that's a better idea. When we connect these lines, we are not yet in sync with the markets. This is potential in a trend line, but it's not. Let's not go into the trend lines that much for now. This resistance got broken, but got rejected pretty strongly. Price fell back down, struggled a bit, and finally, when it broke this support level, price really started to sell off. Let's go to the daily chart and see what happens when we see the bigger picture. There's a lot of downside potential, as you can see. It's crazy, and with a strong dollar, price will even push further. But do not forget, I'm a technical trader, not a fundamental trader, but of course you check out the fundamentals. Last, let me think, where was it? I think it was last week, I think Tuesday or Wednesday. The GDP for Q4 of the Australian economy came out, and that was pretty good actually. So that gives the Australian dollar some strength as well. And this strange move from the Yellen speech is another one. So we have to see where price will be going from here. I think the first area is indeed over here, because we are seeing some some reaction in price over here. Previously it was resistance, support, support, and over here was a little bit support. So price will struggle to go through, but there is still some more downside potential. So definitely a nice setup. Been waiting for this quite some time. This is almost 2 to 3 weeks, and finally it happened. So this is a nice reversal trade actually. Then finally, last but not least, I want to talk about two more. A short moment. I want to go into the gold setup here. I pointed out last Friday because a lot of people were asking my opinion about gold, and I said we are exactly at a level that if this one gets broken, and it did, but it got rejected pretty strongly, I wanted to see some. I thought it would be some more downside potential. This is also dollar related, so as you can see over here, there is also the strange reaction to the Yellen speech. So let's see if this is just a pullback and it will continue next week, or that it will turn around, because of course we are at an important resistance zone. This is actually quite a big demand zone where price will move into and potentially turn around and go for another test of this bigger time frame trend line. That's the reason why that's there. Never forget to check out where you are coming from. This is the weekly, so we are definitely coming from somewhere. Maybe the daily chart is more clear. Yes, exactly. So that for gold. And last but not least, it's a bit of a tricky one, turned out to be last Friday. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. As you can see, this is the daily chart for quite some time. Price has been ranging in this market, and then finally it happened. We all thought the reversal was ready, but the Australian dollar strength, supported by the good GDP numbers, finally managed to push price through this resistance. So if you're a conservative trader, I think it is smart that I think your stop loss would have been hit. I am personally still into this trade because I want to see if this price will hold next week, or that it will maybe turn around or retest this level. Let's see if I can get out of some of them positions, but let's go to the 4-hour chart. Yes, well, I think we see a little bit of divergence over here, but it's not really convincing anymore because price is indeed picking up, so I'm not gonna look at that. It is trading above the moving average as well. It's moved through the supply zone. If price does in fact turn around over here, of course I don't have to point it out, but just in case, there is great potential to the downside, of course, with some struggle around here and some struggle around here, but there is great potential in this trade. I was checking the bigger time frame last night, and I saw, here's what I saw. I think it was something like this. Don't know for sure. Let me try it again. MetaTrader on your phone is a little different than trading from the big screen. So this is not what I was seeing last night, of course. For some reason I think this is what I drew on the bigger time frame. So there is in fact a support nearby. Let me go back to the weekly. I want to put it in the right way. Yes, I think this is correct. Okay, so we are it's not on the weekly. There's no reason to think that we see a reversal right away, but you know, you never know. That being said, let's switch back to the 4-hour. We have to see. I thought this one was ready for a reversal last week. It was not. Price moved further, and let's see what happens next week. Tomorrow I'll be back with my weekly analysis. Like I said, I think Netflix IBM will be on there. Of course, I want to check out some euro or dollar related pairs. Maybe I can find another pair to be for a nice analysis and some new setups. Maybe I was watching some trades. This one, for example, the Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, quite a strange choice maybe, but this one moves in a very clear zone as well. So this is a trade that actually just made a reversal, so maybe it's interesting to see where we can enter short on a pullback for this one. There's pretty nice potential to the downside, so maybe a nice pullback could help us for another great trade. But then again, see you guys tomorrow for the weekly analysis for the week to come.